and that's kind of the only thing that changes, but you have to be aware of it.
How many times do you think they'll end up playing the fight song as part of like that noise that you're going to be dealing with?
You know, probably a little bit. They tend to, you know, play songs with actual people, you know, yelling, which is kind of nice. It's cool to play to music. I think it gets people amped up, and the guys on the team like it, so it's pretty cool. And you know, I don't know. I have to, you know, it's up to Fed, see what he wants to do with the soundtrack. Hopefully it's not too bad.
How has James Ferentz stepped into his role as a key player in the offensive line?
I think he's done a tremendous job. You know, he's in a position where you have to be a leader. You have to, you know, be able to communicate, and you have to know exactly what is going on every time. And that's tough as a young guy to do that and step up when there's, you know, seniors around you or juniors around you, and you got to kind of go in there and you know, take that role, and you got to talk to guys, and you got to tell people where they need to be. But he's done a tremendous job. You know, hats off to him. I think he's done awesome, and that's what I expected him to play like. So we're not surprised, but we're, you know, very happy with the way he's played, and he'll continue to get better.
Julian described their defense as controlled chaos. How do you attack a defense like that?
You know, I haven't came up with a name for him, but I probably won't. But you know, you attack the defense by first knowing what you need to do. That's the main thing. You know, if you know what you're supposed to do and you understand that, you know, to the utmost, and you got it down to a T, then that's the first step. And then after that, obviously, he's watching a lot of film. So, you know, nothing's going to change this week because of, you know, a defense we're playing. We still have to prepare the exact same way. There's still the same amount of preparation, the same amount of film watch that you did before, and you just have to be aware of, you know, what their looks are and go with it.
You probably know what a good IQ is, right? Like 130.
I actually don't. I don't even
130 is a good one. 130 is like super genius, like Wile E. Coyote.
Okay.
And where was your football IQ last year? Where is it this year? That's a tough question.
Based off of that?
Wait, that's a tough question.
I guess at times it might have been in the single digits, right? You never know. I mean, you can put it wherever you want it. I don't know if my football IQ's changed. I think when you get here, you're thrown so much information's thrown your way as a football player that you're not presented in high school because you don't need to be presented with it. And I remember Coach O'Keefe telling me on my recruiting trip when he came to visit my high school that when you leave here, you'll know football. And he, you know, he wasn't lying. I've learned so much about the game of football, about, you know, checks and fronts and little things that people don't even look at. But you know, your football IQ, I think, jumps a little bit each year. I think that's natural. You know, if we're doing the right things as a program and watching film in the off season, and guys are really paying attention during the week, you know, you're gonna continually get better at that. It's just kind of natural. I mean, that kind of goes with anything in life. You know, the more you do it, the better you'll get at it. So we would hope that our seniors would have probably the best, you know, football IQ that you could have on this team, and then you know, kind of from there you can teach the younger guys, and then they'll, you know, kind of get that
right.
And then when they get older, then they can pass it down. So I think that's kind of how it's went, and then, you know, it's kind of a decision. And the more film you watch, the more time you've seen something. I think that's where, you know, you see some of those quarterbacks in the NFL. They've just seen it more than anybody else has. I mean, it's become so natural to them that, you know, they can, you know, not even worry about the physical part of it, because that part is just taken over, and, you know, they're reacting and not even thinking anymore, and that's kind of what you want to try to do. That's why you try to watch film. There's a reason why we watch it. You know, not to see what their uniforms are like. It's to see, you know, the look before it happens. So when you're out there, you're just verifying. You're not, you know, seeing it for the first time. You're just saying, okay, this is what that is. I remember that. Now let's go ahead and run the play that we're supposed to. So I think the more film you watch, just the higher your IQ will be with football.